Hey guys, Happy New Year. Happy January. We're January 1st of the year. I'm checking my audio levels. I see audio levels going out, so I think we're okay there. But Happy New Year, man. Can you believe it? It's already January. Holiday season is over. We're back in the swing of the normal business. And I'll point out down there in the cryon on the bottom, if you didn't notice this before or not, but normally I play the latest videos. Nothing scrolling by this week because there were no videos this week. I think this might be the first time in about 4 years I haven't produced a video. No, I take that back. When I had COVID, I didn't do much. Anyway, I was sick, so got cold running through the house, you know, one of those deals. So just kind of sick this week. And so I didn't get much done in terms of video material, but that doesn't mean we were idle. There were still things happening and I still have some things to show you guys. I actually went flying today, got some video. And here's a cool little thing. If you have the tools, you know, the bandwidth and the monitor for it, try turning on 4K. This is the first time ever I've tried a 4K stream, and so far it looks okay. Looks like it's going to be all right. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. We're going to try kicking off 2023 with more new stuff. So we have 2023. We've got a 4K video stream going up to YouTube for the first time ever. So we'll start out with saying hello to Freddie. And how you doing, Fred? Lance Thompson is here. Fred was in first. He finally woke up from his nap, I guess. Maybe he's not drinking tonight, but welcome, Fred. Glad you can make it. Lance Thompson was second, and Four Eyes was third. How you boys doing? The David Knutz is here from Texas. Howdy, everyone, says David. How you doing, my friend? Mr. Skyrider is here. Good evening, folks. Wowsy. Hello, everyone. Evening, all. Please don't forget to smash that like button on the way. And thanks, Hobie. And I do want to give, since Hobie hit the like whip already, I want to give a big shout out to my patrons. Tell you guys thanks for helping me drive the channel forward. It's always appreciated. And man, I needed the help this month too. I'll tell you what. Anyway, Hobie's here. Jeff is here. Good day, everyone. Lance Thompson says hello. Philip Jang is here from Australia. Laura Harth. Happy New Year, Laura Harth. Thomas Allen is here. How you doing, my friend? Freddie D. Don't say sick. My wife said that. I was sick, man. I had a pretty good cold, so I may end up going on mute. Just warning you, I may end up going on mute, and if I do, just bear with me. Trying to hack up a lung here. I'm on the back end of it though, so it's all good. Philip says he got 4K. Nice, that's cool. 4K stream. How about that? And it actually looks good. You know, from everything I can see on my stats, it looks good. So anyway, we're gonna proceed with some haste tonight. I have some cool stuff to show you guys. Patrick's here. How you doing, Patrick? I got some cool stuff to show you, and I do want to tell you about some things that are coming inbound. So lots of things actually in play, and I learned like a really cool trick this week, and I can't wait to show you guys because you can get it, and I already put links in the description so you can go buy it. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to get right to it, but I'll tell you right now, don't waste time because I have a feeling I haven't done a production video yet on it, but I'm going to. Part of the reason I didn't do a production video is because the equipment didn't show up in the mail. But when you know, I have it now, I have everything I need now, so I'm going to make a production video, and I almost guarantee you we're going to sell these people out. So anyway, let's just jump into it. There is no week in review, so I'm going to go right into, nope, not that. I'm going to skip that. We're going to go into this Niimbot thing, the Niimbot. And I'm going to let you guys have fun playing with name calling and whatever you might have on that one. But the Niimbot, let's go into this view. I'm going to set this aside, and we're not looking at this guy yet. So I'm just going to minimize that. And we'll set the radio aside. The radio will come back out later. But this thing, this is the Niimbot. And I'm telling you, this is one of those deals where I'm like, where have you been all of my life? I don't think I saw Robert come in, but you know how Robert always says, one job, John, one job. Well, one of those things that I'm constantly struggling with is why is this thing still in here? There, now it's closed. One of the things I always struggle with are labels. And I found this thing on Amazon, and it's called a Niimbot D11. Links in the description if you want to get it. It's already there. And it's got this really cool capability. You say, well, wait, if that's a label printer, how do you make labels? Well, it's right here. Use the phone. I got to make sure I don't reveal any sensitive information on my phone here, but I'm going to just bring the app up, and the app is in the App Store. It's called Niimbot with 2 eyes. So Niimbot. Okay, so grab that, and you basically pair it to this little printer, and you create your labels right here on your phone. And what's so cool about it is they have a ridiculous amount of capabilities for these labels. I mean, it's just insane. So I already made one for ailerons. I wanted to show you guys how this works real quick. Let me just delete something. I'm just going to delete this one. We'll delete that. So there you go. And to add a label, and you can add barcode and QR codes and tables and Excel and serial numbers, and all. You can add these little figures and materials. You want to click on if you want a border on it, you could do that. I mean, it's ridiculously easy to use, not hard to figure out. You guys will figure it out in no time. But let me just do a text block, and I'm going to see how you just put the text on there where you want it and click on it, and that lets you edit it. So you can type in whatever you want. You type aileron 1. Now, I have label makers. I'm not like a mental midget when it comes to label makers. I know I have label makers. The problem is that they're very limited in what you can do. You can print just one word in a row, and that's it. And just to piss you off, they come on these little sticky back things that you got to have little rat claws to separate the label from the backing. It's ridiculous. They're just so annoying. These are awesome because you do everything on the phone, and you can move stuff around. You could say this is the left aileron, right aileron. You know, you can do stuff however you want. Let me add another element. Let's add ailerons. I don't know, one right side. It doesn't matter. I'm struggling to think of what to add, but it's just a demo, right? So you get the idea. And then not only that, you have these alignment tool capabilities. So you can say, well, I want this one aligned, center on that is bad. But you could say I want it lined in the middle of my label, and I want the, let's see if I can try that again. Aligned in the middle of the label, there we go. And then you can also change the alignment of your text in the box. So you can do left, center, right. I mean, this is a cool little thing. It's like a little miniature word processor. And then once you got everything done the way you want, check this out. You just hit print. And then, you can change the font size too, in case you were wondering. So there's a little font scroll right here. You can just grab that and zoom in, zoom out. So there, the font's bigger. And then when you're done messing around, goofing off, doing what you want to do, you press the print button, you print this thing. Oh, I got to turn the printer on. It says, hey, dummy, turn the printer on. There, see how fast it's connecting? It even knows it's connecting. So let's see. Oh, come on now, work with me. It didn't turn on. Hold on. Of course it's a live stream. Am I just not holding this? There it goes. Now it's coming on. Apparently I was holding it wrong. Okay, there it goes. Now it's connecting. There we go. Printer connected successfully. Now you just hit the print button and out it comes. Here we go. And remember what I told you about those normal labels? They're kind of a pain in the neck because you have to have rat claws to get them separated. These are stickers. They're like decals. So check this out. Here's the cool part about this. You take this little label off of here, this sticker, and it's a cable label. So you guys know inside the planes, how many times have you been messing around with labels stuck on your on your receiver and you had no idea? You're like, wait a minute, are these flaps? Are these elevators? Is this a rudder? What is this? And you wind up unplugging half your receiver to figure out what you're doing. So you just put this little guy on here, wrap it around the cable like that, and then you fold this thing over just like that, and you let her drop, and look at that. You got a like professional looking. The thing is $25. It's ridiculously cheap. $25. I'm like, where's this thing been all my life? I'm labeling batteries. I'm labeling my field recorder. I'm putting labels on my tool trays now. I mean, I'm doing all that stuff you're supposed to be doing anyway, but this is just a cool little thing. I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. I probably will do a production video on this, but just a quick little demo. This is called the Niimbot D11. It's like $25. Oh, and the other cool thing is they have these different kinds of labels, and the printer, when you put the spool of labels in, like this is the standard one that came with it. When you drop these in, the printer recognizes the labels for you. You don't even have to go in and code. That was one of those other big pains in the necks with all these other label systems. You got to tell it about the tape you're using, what color or how, whatever. This recognizes it. So it's very cool, very simple to drop in. You just open the top and you drop your labels in there, close the lid, and you're in business. You're ready to print. So Niimbot D11, how about that? I'm like, this is like my new best friend. It sits on my desk now. And yeah, I told you we were doing stuff this week. You guys thought it was crazy. I've been in here making labels. And, you know, I don't want to hear any BS comments about, oh, God, he's labeling everything. He must be crazy. I'm not crazy. My mom had me tested. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. All right, so let's see. Bill is in the house. How you doing, Bill? Riz Hassan joined. Hola, Florida. Hello, welcome. Michael Easter is here. Hello, good evening. Hobie learning EdgeTX. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Edge tonight. Inputs, mixes, and outputs just takes power. How much is the tape? It's cheap. It's like I think the tape. I don't know. I put links in the description. It's in there. But it's in there. Go check it out. P-Touch gets you with the tape. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think the tape was that expensive. It was, you know, I don't know, $10. But I don't really care because I got to be honest with you, man. I'm digging that. It's got these. That's why I got it. I saw these cable labels. I'm like, that's what I need. I have to have that. And you know, I use all this AV gear stuff too, and it's just, man, it's nice. It's just a nice little cable, and they have colors. So if you're into the color thing, you want to change your colors around, you can do that. So very cool stuff. Let's see. That's a great idea, says Hobie. Yeah, I agree. Tim's here. How you doing, Tim? Dean Miller. Cool. Was just looking into getting a label printer. Yeah, I have the standard, you know, the old school style, and they're okay. But this was nice, man, because you can really get, and I'm going to see if I have a couple other labels. Yeah, I do have some other labels. Let me go back. Let me go back and show you guys the others, just to give you a quick look at some of the other labels that I've done to tinker around with. Here's one. You guys thought I was going to give you my phone number, didn't you? I'm too smart for that. Property of John Hopke found, please call 555-1212. So go ahead if you want to call that, that's fine. But you know, just, you have all these different capabilities. Here's another one. The Zoom field recorder, unit 1, if found, please call 555-1212. I'm glad I didn't put my real number in there. Anyway, you get the idea, right? Pretty cool. And they have some upgrades, you know, you can buy extra little icons and whatever. I don't care about that stuff, but it's not too, it doesn't badger you too much. It's not like they're popping ads up when you're using it, which would really make me crazy. But yeah, man, the Niimbot little phone app, it seems to work, man. I haven't had, aside from being a dumbass and not turning the printer on, I haven't had a single issue with it. So I'm kind of digging that little tool. It's a little odd, I know, but it's RC, man. You got to label your stuff. Label your batteries. Think about putting labels on your batteries, you know, like what day you bought it, you know, what plane you bought it for. That might be a good one. So anyway, I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. And let's see. Cool. Just looking. Why did your mom feel the need to have you tested? Hey, David. You know, because I've been dropped, you know, what can I say? That's what I'm told. I was dropped. Hello from Singapore. Welcome, Micro Hella John. How you doing? Hey, Tim. Eeyore, more craft ideas. Tune in John's Secret. Next week, Robert, we're going to be doing scrapbooking with Robert. We're going to start with Precious. Kapow. How do you like that? There's a little bit of Precious right up front for you. Full frontal. Full frontal. Match color labels to the plane color. That's right. That's right. We can match colors. We can match our colors to our planes, and red for bad and green for good. You know, it's the whole thing. You could have a lot of fun with it. All right. Let's see. I'm going to set the radio aside. Glad you can make it, Robert. Make sure your wife gives you some maple syrup. You're typing in caps, dude. Maple syrup. Where's Mrs. Robert? Did you guys run out on the ski slopes? I know you're out there goofing around on the ski slopes, weren't you? I heard about it. All right. You guys knew I had to bust this out, right? This came in the mail today, and I was really excited about this. So I was so excited to see this. I knew it was coming, and we've talked about it. I think we've talked about it on Discord. The Edge guys know about it. But look at this, man. There's like a nice little article. This is the latest copy. And it's already been in the digital edition, by the way. This is AMA Model Magazine, Model Aviation Magazine. The latest copy, this is January 2023. And there's a nice full-page spread on EdgeTX starting on page 37. And I read the article, very well done. I think the author's name, Dave. I want to say it was Dave. I feel bad for not knowing that. Anyway, Oh, Greg Grant, right there in front of my face. So author is Greg Gimlick. Anyway, they reached out to me a couple months ago when this was going on, and they told me that I was going to be, referenced in the magazine if that was okay. I said, of course. And so they wrote this really nice article. And then in the back, here's my this is probably about as close to famous as I'll ever get. I thought that was kind of cool, right in the magazine to be referenced for EdgeTX. So John at RC Video Reviews, snippet videos are short and to the point. I'd start there if you're curious about EdgeTX, and he gives a link to the playlist on the channel. So I just thought that was kind of cool that RC Video Reviews went mainstream legit. Now we're in a magazine. So how about that as a reference for EdgeTX? So Model Aviation Magazine for 2023. I think that's kind of cool. EdgeTX. What can you say, man? We love EdgeTX around here. You guys know that. All right. I'm going to check comments. You get some maple syrup and calm down there, Robert. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Easy with the caps. There we go. We're still here. Another year older. She's still ugly. At least he didn't say so maybe he's slipping a little bit. Maybe that maple syrup's kicking in, huh, Robert? I would expect Robert to hit pretty hard on Precious on 2023. All right, let's see. I read it yesterday, got mine yesterday, you guys. I just got mine today, so it was kind of cool. I knew it was in there. I wanted to go see that, but yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Michael says, congrats, thank you. Midwest RC says, I'm here, just getting home from the doctors. Well, I hope everything's okay with the doctor. Wish there was magazines for quads. Yeah, I think at some point there's got to be, right? You guys, the quads they're the first ones that have a TV show. You watch Drone Racing League. I mean, that's kind of cool, isn't it? You guys, quadcopters have their own racing show on TV. I watch it. It's pretty neat. You're moving up in the world. Yeah. First magazines, maybe next time we'll get a TV spot or something, right? All right, let's see. I want to get moving on to the next bit of information. So that was the Niimbot. Okay, 32-bit float. We're going to talk about 32-bit float. You guys are going to peel your eyes back and go, oh my God. So have a drink, relax. I just want to show you something really cool because it's another upgrade that went on this week. And I've been doing a lot of testing with this. In fact, I did some testing at the field today. And I want to give you guys, we'll zoom in a little bit. I want to give you guys a look at this thing. These are the new field recorders that I'll be using at the field. Now, I still have the Rode Wireless Go, and they're great. I still love those. But some things have changed a little bit. One of the things that's changed a little bit is that at the new field, we don't have the tables out front where we fly. And when we're recording with wireless, we have to put the wireless receiver somewhere and the recorder somewhere. And normally I put that on the camera, and that's not a terrible idea. Except for one thing, whenever there's interference at the field on the radio, on the wireless, there's no way to correct that for the camera. So the bottom line was, oh, and then the other thing that happened was we did the video. It was the video where I did my lowest knife edges ever. I said I was pushing my limits, got down on the deck, and I did actually get down on the deck. And Freddie and I were both yelling into the mics. And the bad thing about that is that's called clipping. So I'm going to flip over to another screen, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to give you a look at the editor that I'm using. All right, these are upgrades for the channel. So at the end of the day, it's about making the channel better, right? So I hope you can bear with me on this. But so on the left-hand side, this is a video. If you look at the bottom, you can see it's John Laser. This is an audio clip from the laser shoot. And one of the things that happened was we clipped, and you can see that because you see how these lines right here, when I bring the volume down, these are cut off. That's bad. That sounds really bad on audio, and there's no way to recover it. You cannot get that back. There's absolutely no way to recover this. It's called clipping. And when you hear that on YouTube, you'll know. It sounds just terrible. Very distorted. There is no way to recover it. The only way to recover this is to delete it. That's the only way to recover it. So it just so happens that when we get excited, we yell. Fred yells, I yell, Dave is known to clip a few times. And it's been a real challenge because there's no recovery for it, right? So what 32-bit float does, now you look at this segment, this was from today, and it was recorded with a 32-bit float recorder. And what happens, just to give you kind of a visual, if this space represents what the human ear can hear, okay, 32-bit audio goes from here to here. with the human hearing right here in the middle. So the bottom line is with 32-bit float, you simply cannot clip. Watch what happens when I bring the volume down in the editor for this 32-bit float that has been, it looks like it's clipped, right? You see the line up here, you're like, oh, that's clipping. But watch what happens when you bring the volume down. It just keeps adding more and more resolution and detail. And look at that. That's down to a perfectly normal sine wave for audio with no clipping. So that's an upgrade that I've worked on. And by the way, I can also use these as the recorder for the Rode system. So if we want to use wireless, we can. I simply plug the receiver into the input here and I record. And it works like a champ. Told you guys I'm still on the backside of the code. I apologize for that. That's really awkward to have to mute in the middle of a live stream. Anyway, so that's that. This is a new technology. I just wanted to show you the side by side with very real and very recent examples, because this audio segment here on the left, that's clipping. That sounds terrible. And you don't want to take the excitement out of the video, but there's no way to fix it. There's simply no way to fix it. Once you see this level, looks like it's been clear cut straight across the top, rip cut right there. That's it. You're done. You have no way to recover that. With 32-bit float now, I don't ever have to worry about that again. So just another little upgrade on the channel, and you'll be hearing these in the upcoming video that I worked on today. So 32-bit float, man, the channel is getting legit. We're getting the hardware now, man. It's getting legit. All right, wish there was magazines for quads. Got that. Laura Hart says nice, thank you. FL Engineer says he never clips. Hey, that's another thing though, is that I can. Tim is a low talker. He's like low talker, really low talker. He's the guy where you turn your hearing aid. Not only do you have to put the hearing aid in, you got to crank it all the way to 10 and then say, dude, speak up. He is a low talker. And I love him. I love Tim. He's a great guy, but low talker. The cool thing about 32-bit float is it gives us more resolution to bring his voice up too as well. So that's good too. We have some room there. Hobie says, lol, I was just going to say that. Yeah. Dang, I'm late. Hello from Oklahoma. Glad you could make it, Alan. Lonnie, headroom is good. Yeah, man. It's so nice to have that extra resolution in the file so I can pull it down and never have to worry about clipping again. And you can just let Fred be Fred, right? And Dave be Dave and John be John. If we get a little boisterous, what the heck? Who cares? It's about having a little fun, right? That's the point. And now we don't have to listen to nasty audio. So it's very cool. Hobie says, for those of you who appreciate John's work making these videos, please help him out by supporting him on Patreon. It's as little as $3 a month. Thank you, Hobie. Appreciate that. And I do appreciate you patrons out there who help out, man. It does make a difference. No question about it. Okay, so we did 32-bit float. We did Niimbot. We've got Q&A. So I told you, we got stuff going on, but we have Q&A this week. We're gonna spend a little time on the Q&A, and I'm switching over to the Blackboard for that. And I'm gonna bring up the chart so I can see. And there we go. We're back. So I have your comments next to me. I can still see. So if you put anything in comments, I can see it. But I do want to give you guys the opportunity, if you have anything on your mind, feel free to mention it in comments. We'll try and address it. But I thought I'd give you a look at some of the questions I got in the last week. And part of it, this fail-safe thing comes up a lot. I brought this one in from Bill, and this is actually a recent question, but I get this question quite a bit, and it says, how do you set failsafe? Failsafe is not an EdgeTX 2.7 function per se. It's more about the protocol, the radio. So it's the radio that determines the transmitter receiver protocol, right? That's really what determines how failsafe goes. For example, I learned with Spectrum the other day that the failsafe is set when you first power it on. That doesn't really have anything to do with EdgeTX. So if you're using DSMX, right, is a protocol, and your receiver's DSMX, and you turn it on, your sticks at the point determine failsafe. So failsafe is a very, receiver and protocol specific thing, not really an answer you can give on Edge. You have to follow the fail-safe procedures for the receiver you're using. The main thing to understand with Edge is, and the TX16S, is that we use multi-protocol. So we have lots of different protocols and receivers that we can be using, and that's the point. So good question, Bill. I get that one about fail-safe a lot. It's receiver dependent and protocol dependent is the answer. That's my best answer, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, number 2. Southpaw FPV says, sucks to have TX12 and didn't change my UI at all. You know, I brought this one up because I think the black and white radio guys probably feel this way a lot about Edge. You know, like, well, all this stuff happens on Edge, but it's all about color radios. But that's not really true. In fact, I did a video, a live stream not too long ago, and I mapped out a long list of the year-long accomplishments by the Edge team, and I segregated out a big section that said this had nothing to do with the graphics, right, with the GUI. So there were a ton of updates to EdgeTX that weren't specifically tied to just the GUI itself or the screen. So I do appreciate what he's saying about, you know, a massive graphics update in LVGL 2.8. You know, I get that. And for the TX12, it didn't change, but fear not, because I can guarantee you that there's a lot of under the cover work going on in Edge that is making the radio and the firmware better for you, even if you're on a black and white radio. So don't sweat it. You know, some things are going to be for color, some aren't, and you just have to embrace that horror. But don't worry, the firmware is improving. I can guarantee that. All right, that is 100% true. All right, Mr. Magoo. He says, hi, RCVR, recently got the TX16S, made a couple of models on it, preparing to upgrade 2.8, currently on 2.7.1. The radio does not store the models on the SD card. All right, we got to be clear about this. The TX16S, the radio does 150,000 million confirmed billion jillion % store your models on the SD card. So that statement is just wrong. He's missing something. I don't know what it is, but I can guarantee you on 2.7.1, the radio stores the models on the SD card. 100% fact. No disputing. No arguing. Maybe on a black and white radio and the EEPROM, you know, with the EEPE files or whatever, I don't keep up with that too much. But I can tell you, he said it's a TX16S. That means it's in your models directory, bud. Guarantee it. Should I be doing something specific so they save in the SD card? No. There's nothing, there is no user configurable option to change the location or how and when or why the radio stores your models on the SD card. You get no control over that. That's all baked into the firmware. You get no say. The closest I could get was to save them as a template, and they save in the templates folder on the SD card. Well, but that's not saving a model. You don't really save a model. Once you create a model, it's already saved and written. There's just no procedure to do it. The model, once you create it, it exists. You change it, it's written out immediately. So there's nothing, it's like a hands-off process, right? The radio takes care of it. So I would suggest maybe starting from scratch, Mr. Magoo, delete your models folder or delete the stuff that's in it and just start from scratch and see what happens. Just create a new model and then look at that models folder and you'll see, right? It's there. Trust me. It'll be there. It'll be there. And if you're on 2.7.1, it'll be YAML and not a bin file. All right. In reference to the best racks ever, Michael Petrus says, this won't help getting out of the addiction. This is one of those things. It's not really a question. It's just more something to have a little fun with. Michael, who's trying? That's all I can say. He did do a smiley face, so he's tongue in cheek. But yeah, the best racks ever, man. I still am just enamored with those racks. I still have to stain them. I've been down all week, kind of not feeling very well. So I do need to get to the store and get some stain. I'll stain them, and I need a few more rails. But man, those racks are just beautiful. Love those. Dave, nothing but love for you, brother. Thanks for making those for me. They are just spectacular. Love them. Very cool looking. I'm checking comments. You guys are getting quiet out there. Anybody still with me? Is this thing on? Hello. All right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, Jason Wright says, hey, I just saw something interesting with Spectrum DX9. Was wondering if it can be done on OpenTX. Well, okay, so OpenTX, not EdgeTX, but okay. The guy was using his upper trim buttons to adjust the elevator while the flaps were down, so he could adjust the elevator when the flaps were deployed in the air, but it didn't change the elevator trim when the flaps were up. I don't know. I'm going to do a pop quiz. Who knows the answer to this one? He said, can it be done on OpenTX, EdgeTX? Well, the answer, of course, is yes, 100%. I'm curious before I show you guys the answer to that one, if anybody knows the answer. Anybody? Bueller? Take care all. Robert's taken off already. Maybe Mr. Bagoo is using companion, thinks it's safe. Yeah, maybe, Jeff. It's hard for me to read into those, but it could be. It could be. So I'm wondering, I'm just going to give it a minute before I answer the question. So let's just recap what he said. He said when the guy was using his upper trim buttons to adjust the elevator, so upper trim buttons like maybe T5 and T6 on a DX9, when the flaps were deployed in the air, but it did not change the elevator trim when the flaps were up. Okay, so I don't like the idea of you changing the buttons that I use for trim. But hey, listen, your money, your hobby. If that makes the dude happy, God bless him. You know, let him go do his thing. But as with everything else, OpenTX, EdgeTX, there's more than one way to do things. All right, so let me take you through a little walk on how I would handle this problem. Right. So bottom line, he's saying, when the flaps are down, he wants one set of trim, and when the flaps are up, he wants something else to control trim. Okay, that's fine. And he said when the flaps are deployed, it did not change the trim when the flaps went up. Okay, so the simple answer for that for me is this. I would go in and say the first thing I would do is pick a channel. I would go in the mixer, and I would pick a channel for flaps, and we'll just say, we'll call it channel 12. All right. I've already got SA for channel 12. We'll just say, sure, we could use a slider. We could use pots. We could use whatever. I'm just going to use SA. Okay. Because I already have it configured in the radio. So we're going to use SA as our switch. So SA is up and down. If I look at the monitor and go over one page, when I move SA, I should see movement on channel 12. Okay. I got that. So the next thing I'm going to do is go into the model flight modes. And what I'll do is I'll say in flight mode, normal mode, not normal mode. I'm going to do in the flight mode 1, I'm going to do flaps up. Okay. And I'm going to do SA down. So I'll do SA down. So what this means is, in SA down, I'm going to do a setup and I'm going to use trim. He said for elevator, right? So I'm going to use the trim from flight mode 1 only. So what this means is that when my switch is in SA down like this, I'm going to be aggressive with the elevator. I'm going to move my trim. Yes, I needed to grab my pointer. Shut up. Don't judge me. All right. I'm going to move my elevator all the way down and watch the trim indicator over here on the right. Okay. And by the way, that's SA down. Okay. See, SA is down. Let me zoom out. I want you to see them both at the same time. This is one of the things you can do with flight modes. Not the only thing, but one of them. So SA is down, and I've got my elevator trim all the way down. Now I'm going to move SA to the up position, and look what happened to my trim, right? It bounced right back to where it was. So in a normal mode with my flaps up, this is my elevator trim. And just to prove the point, I'm going to bring that elevator trim all the way up to the top. Okay, so this is my flaps up. And that's where my trim needs to be, okay? Now when I put my flaps down, there's where my trim needs to be. And you can adjust it independently. So if I say, well, it just needs to be 2/3 of the way down, then that's good. Now if I bring my flaps up, my original trim is right back where I started. Pretty cool, right? So flight modes, they give you the ability in flight modes to set up trims for a flight mode. So in flight mode 1, which is the one I chose, I just went into the setup and I said for flight mode 1 on the elevator only, I would like to use the trim for flight mode 1. You could also do, by the way, you could do you could do +0. So you can say use whatever's in flight mode 0, which is the normal one, and my own stuff, right? It's kind of a cool thing to do if you want, but I just thought I would show you. Actually, you would do +1, I think, for that. I'm not sure. I'd have to test it. It's been a while since I fooled with that, but =1 for sure does only what's in flight mode 1. So if you have a need to have different trims, you can easily set that up in flight modes using the technique I just showed you. So there you go, Jason Wright. There's your answer. Of course, it can be done. I would stack OpenTX, EdgeTX up against Spectrum pretty much any day of the week. And the answer is yes, it can be done quite easily, actually. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, this guy, this is my wingnut of the week comment, I guess. This is in response to the Budget 18650 spot welder. So he's watching a channel called RC Radio Control, RC Video Reviews. And his comment, of all the things this dude could have said, his comment was, to charge your radio, in quotes, laughing my ass off, nobody has bought a radio in 30 years. This is what we live with on the internet. The guy's watching a channel about radio control, and he says, he makes a dumbass comment, nobody has bought a radio in 30 years. Of course, what he's referring to is one of those stupid little transistor radios, right? Yeah, fine. But he's too full of himself to stop for just a minute and say, wait a minute, why is he talking about a radio? Oh, RC Video Reviews. What does that mean? So I love that. And then the other thing that cracks me up about this guy is when I was doing the video, I tried taking the case apart, and they built it in such a way that it was kind of destructive to take it apart, and I didn't want to. So I looked inside and I said, well, it's some kind of lipo pack in there. And he says, the second comment is, you could have given us more info on the batteries they used inside if you didn't want to show them. I'll tell you what, guys, this is the fastest way to get deleted from YouTube. I didn't delete this guy though. Instead, I pinned him because I want everybody that watches that video to see what an intelligent guy we have commenting on the video. So, that was the end of that. I did that one because every now and then you just got to mess with people back. You ask a silly question, you get a silly answer. Nobody's bought a radio in 30 years. Well, what is this? I mean, geez, radio. I wonder if anyone's told Radio Master that nobody's bought a radio in 30 years. So I heard a cute joke. I'm going to tell you guys in just a minute. Didn't program it in mixes. No. If you were doing trims, I would definitely do flight modes. You can program the function of those switches. You can. Yes, you can. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I like I've done all kinds of programming with the trim switches. Not only have I done that, I've done videos on how to turn these into momentary switches and use them in Logic. So there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with it. Let's see. Yeah, formulating my EdgeTX question, says Up South FPV. All right, hit me. Back end of the bell curve. It is, right, Lonnie? Very clever. That's a cute way to say it, back end of the bell curve. But I pinned his comment. I figured I'd let the internet have him. I'm not even going to delete him and save him from that kind of stupid. He's just whatever. It takes a special kind of stupid. Anyway, that is the let's see. That's the end of the content. That's the end of the Q&A. I have to tell you about what's coming up, and then I've got a joke. I've got a funny joke. I heard it on YouTube the other day, and I thought I'd share it with you. This dude's an English teacher, and he's in his class, and he gets called to the principal's office, and they sent the sub in to watch his class for him. He goes down to the principal's office, and he walks in, and he sees a dad in the room, and he sits down, and he says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Smith," and the principal says, "This is Kevin's dad," and he said, "Oh, hey, Kevin's dad, how you doing?" He goes, "Yeah, I just wanted to know why you called my son an idiot." And the teacher said, "Well, no, sir, you got that wrong. I never called your son an idiot. I would never do that. I mean, I would never say that to a kid. I asked him if he was an idiot, but I certainly didn't call him one." I wonder, I love nuance like that. I wonder how many teachers could get away with that. I don't know if there's any teachers in the crowd, but if you decide to try that, I'd love to hear how that worked out for you. But I thought that was cute. No, sir, I never called your son an idiot. I asked him if he was one, but I didn't call him one. I thought that was just genius. That's clever writing. That's the kind of writing I can get behind. I can get behind that. All right, let's see. Coming up, everything's coming tomorrow. I have all kinds of stuff coming tomorrow. So I have 2 airplanes coming, and all I'm going to tell you is that one is a balsa biplane and the other one is a jet. So 2 airplanes, and they're sponsored. They're both sponsored. They're being sent in, and I'll be doing those unboxes and reviews soon. So hang tight. I'm looking forward to doing those videos. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And then the other thing that I have on the way from Skywing, this is also a sponsored video, is it's not sponsored by Northwest though. It's sponsored by KST. So KST sponsored a video for us. They sent some servos for an airframe. So I have another airframe on the way. I'll be doing the 48-inch laser, the yellow and white one. And I am sad to report that the yellow and white laser, I got the last one. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry about that. I got the last one, but they do have more of those 48-inch planes. So if you want to get the 48-inch foam, it's a foam and balsa, and they're actually priced really aggressively. I think they're like $150, 160. Not bad. That's not. I think 180 all in shipped is really not bad for what you're getting. And anyway, when KST asked me to do a video and they wanted to sponsor it, I said, yep, absolutely, send me this stuff. So they did, and now the aircraft is on the way, and when that gets here, we'll do that one. And I think that will be a really fun plane to get out. And I don't have a small 3D basher anymore. I gave them away. So I'll be using the 48-inch laser as a little bit of a 3D basher. So Hobie says, is it a Pitts? No, it's not a Pitts. It's a PT-17. It's a PT-17 in balsa, and it's being sent by BitGo Hobbies. So everyone gets to hear it. BitGo Hobbies, and they're also sending a jet. I'll let that be a surprise. So those are both on the way. And that's it. So coming up, we've got 3 airplanes on tap. They all have to arrive. I have to go through the process, unbox, build, all that stuff, and getting them out to fly. I also want to let you guys know that I got the Ranger out. I switched it over from Crossfire to Express LRS, and I got the old little 4200 3-cell put together. Dug that out from when I first flew the Ranger. So it's ready to go. So the T1 Ranger should be ready to fly soon, and we'll get that one up and flying and getting some video on that. And as you can see on the screen, I don't know if you've paid attention, but this video, I didn't let you guys hear the audio, but that video is from today. Check that out. There's a little bit of a cub chase. So I put that in there, just a little bit of a teaser to give you guys a look at some of the work that I did today with Dave. So BitGo coming back to the channel. Yeah, I don't know. They just kind of reached out to me out of the blue and said, hey, you got a couple planes we'd like to send you. Would you mind taking a look? And I said, nope, not at all. Send them over. And they did. So yeah, BitGo, they were kind of doing their own thing for a while. I don't know. I don't know if you've ever checked out their channel, but I don't think it got quite the traction maybe that they wanted, but I'm not sure. I really just don't know. Plus a new flying field. Yeah, we got a new flying field, new airplanes, new audio equipment. It's all happening, man. We you know how it is around here. We try and keep things rolling. I was actually working. I took a 3 martini lunch and went and did that today, and I came back and worked some more. So, and then got ready for a pilot jam. So it's not like we've been goofing off. It's been work. But I'll tell you what, the Zoom F2s, they performed really well. Very pleased with those. Lonnie says, been lusting after that PT-17. Wish I had room for one. Yeah, I know. I got to be honest with you guys. The PT-17 might be one of those. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about the PT-17. We have Dave. Dave is coming into town from out of town, from up north. And Tim's going to come, and Hobie's wants to come, and I'm sure Dave will be there, our local Dave. And hopefully Freddie will show up. And honestly, I'm thinking that one's going to be a giveaway at that event. I think we'll do, after I do all the flying and do the commercial work with that one, pay the bills, then I'll be doing a giveaway with that one probably at the field. So I like that plane. I don't know. I'm not 100% yet. I'm not 100%. So don't hold my feet to the fire, because, I had a PT-17 and I gave that away and I regretted it. And I don't have a bike right now. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how the event turns out, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I will, but I kind of like the looks of it too. So I don't know yet, man. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, 1600 millimeter. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it's a pretty good size PT-17. That sounds about right. All right, fellas. Well, listen, we are 45 minutes in. Bill says drink. Not tonight, my friend. I'm already taking other drugs and pain relievers. I don't want to mix alcohol with that mess. So I'm just going to take it easy on that. But maybe next time, maybe next Saturday, maybe next Friday, we'll do a little drinky. Anyway, so that's it for the content. You guys know what's coming on the channel. I'll probably be putting a flight video together. It'll be a short one tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'll put it out there tomorrow. It'll be a short one from today. And then hopefully we'll get into the unbox and reveal information on the new stuff coming in. So that's what I expect to have happen over the next couple of days. So that's it. Give away that MXS. Give away the MXS. I don't have an MXS. What are you talking about, Hobie? You got an MXS from me. You got an MX2 from me. You got an MX2. I don't know about any MXS. You thinking maybe of Oliver's MXS? Anyway, fellas, I hope you had a good time tonight on the show, and I can promise you there's plenty more material on the way. Just keep coming back. And oh, I got to go back to something real quick here. Wait, I missed a comment. I didn't miss it. I saw it. I wanted to make a comment about it here. Hold on. I saw it. There it is. Marcel Off-Axis FPV, best channel ever. I appreciate that. That was after the idiot joke and the guy posting nobody's bought a radio in 30 years. So, all right, fellas. Well, thank you. I hope you all, and ladies, I hope you all have a great night tonight. Thanks for checking in with me and hanging out with me on a Friday night. I had a good time with you. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, subscribe and hit the bell. And I want to remind you, if your budget allows and you like this kind of content and you want to help out, feel free to join me on patreon.com/RC video reviews. I have a tier as low as $3 a month. And if you got, Hobie money, you could I got one up for 20, I got a $20 a month tier if you want to do that, if you got that Hobie money. But if not, it's all good. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me. And for the patrons, I appreciate you guys extra for helping out with the channel. So I hope you all have a fantastic night. Drone Pilot made it back. He renamed himself again. Hi, Elias. Get on Discord, man. Katana. Michael, very impressed with Skywing quality. Thanks for the views. Yeah, I love Skywing. It's a good choice. No doubt about it. Get well, my friend, heading over to Discord. Take care all. All right. You guys have a great night. It was great chatting with you. Take care. And get out there and fly something.